Which out?
So can we just go from the weather link, please? And we'll read the weather and then the goodbye.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Joe. And now to Meg with the weather.
With a dry and crisp rise to the weather this morning, sunny intervals started to show at lunchtime with some cloud. Then moving on to this evening, we have light showers of rain with temperatures of 8 degrees Celsius before heavier rain due later on this evening ahead of the Man United game. Through to tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, we'll see cloudy weather before reaching the slightly higher temperature of 12 degrees Celsius on Monday. That's all for the weather. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Meg Lee, Quays News.
And welcome to Quays News. I'm Claire King.
And I'm Abby White.
Today's top story. Historic England have criticised plans for a £200 million redevelopment in Manchester city centre due to concerns the city's prestigious heritage will be threatened. Earlier today, our reporter Gabby went to find out more.
We're here at the iconic Albert Square in Manchester City, where new development plans have been submitted by ex-footballers Ryan Giggs and Gary Neville. The development is set to include flats, 2 skyscrapers and a hotel. However, local residents are concerned that this could potentially damage the local area's history. So I have here Marie with me. Marie, what do you think this development could do to the local area?
I think while this redevelopment is needed, I'm a little bit concerned about it overshadowing this square because it's a beautiful historic square, and the illustrations I've seen, they're extremely tall, the buildings. So I'm in favour of redevelopment, but perhaps they just need to scale it back a bit.
So Dan is here with me. What do you think that could potentially do to the local area?
Well, I've been in Manchester for 3 days, and it's lovely, but it's a bit of a mishmash with architecture. So I think it would fit in the way that the architecture is sort of laid out here, but this part is lovely. It's kind of old and traditional, and what's wrong with that?
So do you think the skyscrapers could potentially damage the image that Manchester has?
I think it would continue the image that it looks like to me as an outsider.
HIV is the second biggest killer amongst adolescents in the UK. The movement campaign group Youth Stop AIDS is currently on tour around the UK to spread awareness and help people suffering from the disease. Over to our reporter Jessica Fox, who has more.
We are today at the University of Manchester, where we are visiting the movement campaign group Youth Stops AIDS. This campaign group started in 2003 and is a campaign group that travels up and down the UK every year to spread awareness for HIV and AIDS. On tour with the campaign group is 5 volunteer speakers that are all having to live their lives with HIV.
I first joined the organisation when I was 18. It was my first week at Freshers, and I saw a little table out there saying "You Stop AIDS." So I've been involved with different HIV campaign groups since I was a child, but then what You Stop AIDS really embodies to me and what I chose to get involved with when I was at uni was how it puts young people at the forefront of this work and also of its programmes too. So HIV disproportionately affects young people, so it's the second biggest killer of young people globally and the biggest killer of adolescents in Africa too. So I believe passionately that young people need to be at the forefront of all advocacy work too, because we've seen from the 80s, young people can be the change in their communities to get the results we need, kind of counter this complacency we're seeing from our government on HIV and AIDS. So I've been staying involved for 5 years. So I was leading a group in Brighton. I became a trustee of the charity, and for the last month I've been now the coordinator of the campaign as well. It's given me a lot in the last 5 years, really taught me how I can take action, how to make a difference myself, how I can get people empowered to believe us and get them to have an impact as well with our work.
There are many parts of Salford that are being forgotten about in the midst of its renovation. Whit Lane is just one of many estates that has closed shops and run down streets.
Our reporter Paige Tucker spoke to Wesley Piper, who is opening a milkshake and cafe bar in hopes to bring the community back together.
I'm here today at Whit Lane, dubbed by locals as a forgotten estate. However, Wesley Piper won't let this estate be forgotten. He's opening the Lounge Bar Cafe, which is a milkshake and food area for all the community to come together.
Well, originally I was cooking breakfast and I thought, make a good breakfast, mate, I could have a cafe. That's how it started, and then it was where to have it. And that was the biggest thing, and it's like, well, where am I going to go for it? You know what I mean? So it's... I look round here, this row of shops, all been empty. Been empty for a long time, so I thought, perfect, lots of parking, 2 schools, 3 housing estates, it's just perfect. And then I want to try and get a social worker down. There's one who's worked with all the kids around here, Graham Cooper. I'm going to try and get him down and put him a notice board up at the back here. Anything what he does, I mean, he helps them get jobs and things like that. What they wouldn't normally get. The chances that he fights for them, and it's something what they wouldn't normally get. So if I can get him in here, you know, he can use this, have his own notice board, like I say, whenever he wants to do work stuff with the kids, as long as it's within the opening hours, he can arrange to meet them all there. Mm-hmm. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? It's something for the area. Yeah. It gets forgotten about a lot of Salford. Unless it's near the quays, it gets forgotten about. When I was younger, this community around here, no matter what time of day, it's always busy. There's always something going on around here. Now what I've noticed in the past few years through doing my taxiing job, it's very quiet. Mm-hmm. The same people, the same amount of people are here. But as you said yourself, we've never been up here. There's nothing to come here for.
Yeah.
Why can't we get it back the way it was?
Couples were invited to renew their vows live on air at the Into Trafford Centre on Valentine's Day. BBC Radio Manchester hosted a mass renewal of marriage and partnership vows on Tuesday, where the vow renewals were held in the main dome. The non-religious ceremony was open to both married couples and those in a civil partnership.
And not only the Trafford Centre was celebrating Valentine's Day, fast food chain Subway were giving away free subs nationwide.
The world's biggest fast food chain, serving 7.6 million subs every day, gave everyone across the country a free sandwich as part of their Customer Appreciation Day. Between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m, all you needed to do was order a dispensed drink or a bottle of water, and you received any 6-inch sub of your choice. Subway have described it as giving the ultimate romantic gift to its customers.
Clubbers in Manchester were quite literally left raising the roof in nightclub Fat 251 last Saturday, the 11th of February. 7 people were taken to hospital after a ceiling collapsed onto the dance floor of the nightclub in Manchester city centre.
Students in the club, commonly known as Factory on Princess Street, were left holding up the ceiling as it collapsed on their heads, leaving them no choice but to hold onto the roof with their hands in a spontaneous team effort. A spokesperson for Factory said a section of the plasterboard came loose on the first floor. No one was hurt and there was no structural issue, so we need to investigate with contractors how this reoccurred.
We were in Factory having a dance, and then I suppose around 1:30 there was kind of all this kind of commotion with people kind of started screaming, and you looked up and there was just kind of half the roof, or like half the ceiling kind of panel falling down, and it was just people holding it up.
Now to tonight's sport, where Manchester United will be looking to raise the roof in their Europa League first leg tie against Saint Etienne.
Our reporter Joe Canavan joins us live from Old Trafford ahead of the big match. Joe, I believe a family reunion's on the cards?
Yeah, that's right, Claire. It's going to be Pogba versus Pogba behind me at Old Trafford tonight, as Paul Pogba, the world record £89 million signing, takes on his brother Florentine. Just to put this into some kind of context, Florentine signed for Saint Etienne for a mere €500,000 from Sudan in 2012. Both brothers are looking forward to facing each other, but United boss Jose Mourinho does have sympathy for one member of the Pogba family.
I think it's a good, nice destiny. I think only Mom Pogba is a little bit in trouble, which is normal. You know, it's difficult for the lady to choose. It's not difficult. It's impossible for the lady to choose. I know from Paul that the mom wants a draw, but next week one son will be happy and another one will be sad. But I think only for the mom is a little bit of problem. For them, I think they will enjoy. They will enjoy to play against each other.
It's not all about football tonight, though, as the Salford Red Devils are in Super League action. They take on the Huddersfield Giants, trying to bounce back from their weekend defeat to Wigan. They also received some good news earlier today, as Todd Carney, their Australian signing, finally received his visa and is cleared to play for the club. That's all your sports news. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Joe, and now to Meg with the weather.
And crisp rise to the weather this morning, sunny intervals started to show at lunchtime with some cloud. Then moving on to this evening, we have light showers of rain with temperatures of 8 degrees Celsius before heavier rain due later on this evening ahead of the Man United game. Through to tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, we'll see cloudy weather before reaching the slightly higher temperature of 12 degrees Celsius on Monday. That's all for the weather. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Meg Lee.
That's all we've got time for today.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.